We're live
Live and live we are.
with Shut Up and Thrive.
Hey, hey, hey.
You're wow, okay. It's the
Passion.
relationship with
Bring the passion.
yourself. The
Yes.
one important relationship you must have is with you. Very, very loving relationship. And that's what we're going to discuss today. Like, what is our relationship with ourselves and how we connect with each other and everyone else based on how we treat ourselves.
I think
Alrighty
so too.
then.
I agree that it's the most important relationship. Do you guys
True.
agree that it is?
I
Yes.
think it's the foundation for your other relationships. So, definitely the most
Okay.
important.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, a relationship with yourself is really having the control over like your mind, your body, and your spirit. Just understanding that that is who you are, that you're not just the physical, that you're also your mind, you're also your spirit, and working on having that deep connection with those three things. And when you think of relationship, there's usually two things or two people involved. And
Mm-hmm.
so it might be hard for some people to understand a relationship if there's only one involved because it's just you. But we know here that we have our higher self, right? That we're
Right.
trying to not to reach to become, not become, but have that connection. So we have us who we are in the physical, and then we have our higher self. So I think that's where that connection comes in for me.
As a child, I remember knowing that something was said to me and I didn't like it, and my inner self already told me I didn't like that. And that was something I've always had. I've always been having that voice that tells me, no, you don't like that. That's not what you're doing. So it was never, I never went against it unless, my parents made me do something I didn't want to do at times. But kind of know that I always knew that there was something inward that told me otherwise, so that I knew that was there. And then as we've gotten older, learning to connect with the things I don't like has been my problem, because there are certain traits that I run away from. I've always said I hate emotions. I've always ran away from emotions and still
Mm.
don't understand why I run away from emotions, but it's something I'm working on to understand those emotions instead of running away from it now that I'm older. Before, when I was younger, I just didn't deal with it. It was something I push apart. So connecting with those inner voice and grounding ourselves with nature and things like that, stuff that we've been exploring, has definitely grown my relationship with myself over the years. So, yeah, that connection piece is important.
I'm in love with the relationship I'm creating or having with myself. And it has been a work in progress. We all know it. Since when we used to have our little youth self-esteem groups, I think that's really when we started having a relationship or building a relationship with ourselves, would be back
Or
then.
at least having the awareness
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
our relationship.
Yeah.
Mm.
At the moment, how I feel, I can't let those negative voices come in. So my voice has got to be louder inward than everybody else that's outward.
That can be hard.
Yeah, it can definitely, but it's something that could be done. It's a lot of mental, emotional growth within yourself to say that you yourself, what you're thinking, what you're feeling is important at that moment, not someone else's. And it's hard to say. It's hard to say no to someone you love. That at that moment they need you at that moment, but you need yourself at that moment. So how do you say no? But you have to, because you treat them the way you want them to be treating you. So you got to teach them how to treat you. So
If you're living in purpose, that's how you find happiness. There are things that make you happy, and you have to find those things if you don't know what they are.
Hmm.
And if you do know what they are, you have to have the courage to go after them and do them every day because they make you happy for a reason. And sometimes the things that make people happy are things that they're afraid to put out into the world, or they're afraid to go after because of what they know, what other people have said, or if they've had failures in the past. So people don't pursue their purpose.
Definitely. Yep.
Um, and so for me, having a good relationship with yourself is understanding what that purpose is, understanding what makes you happy, and being able to have that control over all those things so you can, do every day what's making you
Yeah.
happy. And like what Claudia was saying, it's hard sometimes because we have the outside, we have influence from the ones we love. And we know a lot of times when people talk to us or give us advice, it's coming from a place of caring and loving and wanting what's right for you.
Hmm.
But do they really know what's right for you?
That's
And
right.
if
Mhm.
you don't have that positive relationship with yourself, you're not going to be able to differentiate the things that people are telling you.
One thing I learned, like, me, I love being surrounded, right, with people, but just building this relationship with myself has made me realize how much I enjoy spending time alone and just rewarding myself, you know, for my well-being, doing things that makes me better, makes me feel better, things that a simple meditation that will help me relax, to just cleaning my house and nobody's here, just me by myself. So yeah, being time alone to reward myself with things that makes me happy has definitely been one of the positive of having a relationship with myself. I said I was
Mhm.
going to do this and I didn't do it. So yeah.
Do you think people, I'm sure we can all say we've been in that situation, but do you think people, why do you think people do that though? Why do you think we do that to ourselves, especially if we know that's something we want, that's something that makes us happy, that's something that's going to get us closer to our goal, whatever the case may be? Why do you think people do that?
Maybe people do it because they're not focusing on or being aware of what they need for their well-being,
Think
because
so? I
they
think people know.
I think it's
that
fear. A lot of people are afraid of actually trending their own path. Even though
Mhm.
we've been embracing our own path. There's a difference. Others fear that path because it's in an unknown. We're always in an unknown, and that's what people need to realize, that we are not guaranteed anything. So everything is unknown to us. And if you stay in that state of mind of fear that I don't know what's going to happen next, I don't know that me making this career change is going to affect my whole being where I am comfortable. So being connected to that inner self that you're like, I know it's unknown. So you're aware of that, and nothing is guaranteed to me. You're aware of that. And